Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the North Shore 9 podcast presented by FanDuel. This is NS9 Live. I'm your host, Anthony DiNardo. With me, we have Ty Ty. We have Jim. We are back. And guess what? We're about to have Konnor Griffin as well. How you guys doing?
Thankful.
Great. It's a great day to be a Pirates fan.
I've never been more happy to be wrong about my over and under.
Ooh, that's a good call.
Yes.
Yeah.
Never been more happy.
We already have a confirmed loss already. It is April 2nd. Bad day to be a Ty Ty.
You know what? I'm fine with it. Again, if I had to be wrong about any of those over and unders, I'm glad it was this one. So I can miss one. It's fine.
I mean, that episode was just a week ago, by the way. And who would have ever thought that within a week we'd be talking about Konnor Griffin getting called up and cones being hoisted in the dugout with welding helmets on. Like, it's, like I said, vibes are high.
Did you say
right
cones?
now. I said cones.
Chat? Did he say cones?
Uh-oh. I did say, I said on the post-game show on that was yesterday or 2 days ago, I was like, well, we're going to make sure we have cones for you. So
there it is. There it is. Yep. If you're an NS9 member, a YouTube member, 99 cents, you get your access to all the emojis and your cones as well. Hoist the cone, baby. What a great time to be a Pittsburgh Pirate fan. I mean, literally, like, we are just a week into the season also, and just vibes are immaculate everywhere. I don't understand what is happening. I was actually thinking about this before the show today, and it's just like, year over year, we're looked upon as the negative show. Oh, all you guys do is just tear this team up. All you guys do is talk negative. But it's like, all they do is negative things. We ask them to do something. They don't do it. And they go out and win 71 games. Maybe they should listen. And it's like this whole offseason, we're just like, you know what? I kind of like this move. You know what? I kind of like this. I kind of like this. Up until this point, like if this was like 2 years ago, Konnor Griffin not making the open day roster, we riot. Our whole thought was like, well, it's not terrible. And also, like, they also still might call him up. And they did. They keep doing things we're asking them to do, and I don't understand what to do now. What do I do with my hands?
Again, that's why I took the over on it, man, because I didn't expect them to do what the right thing would be.
And see, I took the under because I expected them, and then I'm
a proud dad right now.
Yeah, I thought I was being aggressive with the Monday, April 6th promotion.
Yeah,
prediction was my prediction, and hell, I was off. I'm gonna be off by 3 days.
It is crazy. So again, just like, and they're a 500 team, just 6 games in, but they're a 500 team. They're hitting home runs. Oneil Cruz has an OPS over 1,000. I forget exactly what it is. I think it's 1,200 something. But regardless, he's balling out right now. He's hitting lefties. The team looks good. Other than Paul Skeens.
3-3 road
his terrible start.
Skeens was just fine yesterday, but no, 3-3 road trip, you take that, right? Like, yeah. I mean, if we would have said going into this, hey, 6 games on the road to start the year, you come home 3-3, we would all take that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is a wild 180 from like Sunday.
Yeah.
Or Saturday, maybe.
Saturday. Yeah, I mean, they've won 3 of 4. Your Buccos are hot.
And they all did that without Konnor Griffin.
And
who's going to be here tomorrow.
We weren't incredibly negative over the weekend when it started rough with the Mets. We were relatively patient with it. And that's because the work behind the scenes in the offseason, what they did. It's pretty obvious they're better than they were before.
Yeah. And again, if you haven't heard by now, Konnor Griffin will be promoted tomorrow. My guy, Bucko Mike, who's getting better. I think he's out of the ICU. Dude, Bucko Mike called this from the hospital bed. He said Konnor Griffin, first day of the homestand.
Well, 69% of the time, he's always right.
There you go.
He's a ball knower.
He is a ball knower.
He is.
Fellas, we have a lot to talk about today. We have a lot of fun, exciting things to talk about. This is going to be a good show. Great vibes. But I will say this, before we do talk about everything, You guys know the deal.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
We have the really stupid question for tonight. And the really stupid question, Jim, go ahead and do the honors as always. I'll go ahead and bring up the wheel.
Yeah, bring up the wheel. The stupid question tonight is, if you had to give a TED Talk with zero prep, what random topic could you fake your way through? So that is the stupid question of the night. So yeah, let's spin that wheel.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Ooh.
We got Captain Chris Miller, who, by the way, knows how to tie a bow tie.
Yeah. Renegade of the Rotunda.
You text him that because he's not speaking to me anymore since that bow tie incident.
Okay, I got it.
Clearly last night, a little behind the scenes story. So we're talking about the tailgate, talking about parking situation, and we have the idea, let's ask Chris. Chris would probably know. I text Chris, Jim texts Chris. We both text Chris, not knowing we each have texted Chris. Chris comes back, responds to me and says, hey, can I ask you a question? He goes, no. And then I ask him the question. He responds with, after the dancing mom show, whatever, he goes, I'm shunning you. You're cut off. And then I ask him the question. He goes, yeah, you're out of luck. And he stops it at that. And I go, okay. He has a whole full-blown conversation with Jim, telling him the exact things that we need. Jim's like, oh, yeah, we're good, guys. He gives us all this information. I'm like, oh, cool. Chris told me, like, probably not. He's like, oh, that's who I text. So Chris is texting both of us, giving Jim correct information, feeding him, and telling me, like, no, you're out of luck. Take it easy, kid. So that's where we're at in speaking terms.
And speaking of what we were talking about, so this is actually good. We'll just real quick. If you are coming to our tailgate, we normally have it, over. We're in
the button.
You got to remove
the button.
There we go. We usually have it like over here, right in this area. We're going to do it. We're going to do it right here in the Canal Street lot. So just a heads up to everyone. We'll update the posts and everything, but the Canal Street lot is going to be where the tailgate is going to be.
Thanks a lot, Roger Goodell.
Literally.
But yeah, so that was the behind the scenes talk. We realized that Gold Lot 2 doesn't exist for the tailgate. They're building like stages and stuff in Pittsburgh for the draft, and we had to find somewhere else. So if you're watching on YouTube, obviously you just saw what Jim did. If you're listening to the podcast, that'll be updated. You heard where, but we'll have updated graphics and stuff as well. Buy your tickets. They're in the description as well. Get your tickets. We're going to have a lot of fun that day. I am excited.
And then we'll be on the jukebox after.
All right.
Singing whatever Konnor Griffin's favorite song is.
Do we want to get into this? So the news is Konnor Griffin promoted. He's going to be making his debut tomorrow. On top of that, Buster Olney of ESPN is reporting that Konnor Griffin and the Pirates are finalizing a deal, 9 years, $140 million. I'll say this. Buster Olney, obviously an extremely reputable baseball reporter. Has been for essentially my entire life. He is the only person reporting this right now. So it's not that I'm necessarily taking this with a grain of salt, because it is Buster Olney, and I think we have to give him the benefit of the doubt here. But he's still the only person who's reporting this, which doesn't make me like hesitant that a deal's not going to get done. I think what's happening here is like a deal's getting close, probably. They expect it to be done very soon. Keep in mind the PPI eligibility. The wording of this says that you're not eligible if you, prior to making your major league debut, you agree to a major league contract. covering more than one playing season. So like there is wording here that would make it so that the Pirates really don't want it to seem like anything is agreed to right now. So that's what I'm going to leave it at. It's being reported. Obviously, we're very excited. I think at the end of the day, whether this gets announced, after the game tomorrow or Saturday, Sunday, whatever, I'm expecting something to get done here relatively soon. Is it going to be 9 years, 140 million? I don't know, but that's the number Buster told us. So that's what we got to go with right now.
Yeah. I kind of find it odd also that he is the only person, like no one's come back and said, yes, I also agree. It's just Buster out there on an island. Now, again, like the wording though is interesting, right? He says they're still working on finalizing, right? So yeah, like it wasn't like, hey, there's a deal. It's 9 years, 140, because also, like you said, that this is weird and tricky. I wasn't aware of the language until we, talked about here earlier, whatnot, because the deal can't be done. You can't make a deal before you get called up. If there's a contract in place before you get called up, there's no PPI eligibility, right? Konnor Griffin can no longer give the Pirates a draft pick if he wins Rookie of the Year or, top 3 in MVP for the next 3 years or whatever. So that can't be done. So obviously what you want to do here is you want to call him up and then give him a contract. But like you said, the wording is, even if you're talking, even if it's agreed upon beforehand, they can come in and say, you're not eligible. So this would not be in the Pirates' favor to do this right now. This would not be in their favor to have this leaked and like, hey, they're agreeing upon this. And again, because he's the only one, I am curious. Now, we've been hearing from a lot of sides that something is nearing. Something is coming. So like you said, Jim, I feel the same way. I feel like something will get done. Something's coming. I just don't know if this is it. And hopefully this doesn't screw things up. This is what I'm afraid of, Jim. Going back to the I started the show when I talked about like the Pirates, right? They're finally doing things right. I'm afraid this is the most piratey thing to happen, right? That they do something right, and then the commissioner comes down and says, well, you're not awarded the PPI. And they're like, screw it. We're never doing this stuff again. Even when we do try, we get screwed out. No more early call-ups, no more extensions. We're done.
It would be very piratey if they
so
did
piratey.
This. And yeah, Manfred's like, nope, not eligible. That Buster only tweet, it screwed you guys.
If that's the case, my next GPS address is 1271 Avenue of the Americas, New York, New York. That is the commissioner's office. We're raising hell.
Bring the cones.
We're bringing cones.
Cones everywhere. Yeah.
So many cones on fire.
Nope. Yeah.
So, and also just to refresh everyone, so the PPI eligibility means if Konnor Griffin wins Rookie of the Year this year, or he finishes in the top 3 of MVP voting in any of his first 3 seasons, the Pirates would be basically rewarded with a compensation pick at the end of the first round. So yeah, it's a pretty nice reward. And yeah, I think the Pirates definitely want to be eligible for that award.
Yeah. I mean,
For
there might
sure.
be something agreed to. There might not be. Who knows? Quote unquote agreed to. But there seems to be enough traction from both sides at this point that I'm with you guys. I think something will get done. It just might be a different number. Who knows?
Right.
And if it's not done, who cares? We get to see Konnor Griffin tomorrow, guys.
Yeah.
It'll get
at
done.
the end of the day, they said, I'm expecting a deal to get done. We'll probably get something ironed out and finalized in the next week or so. But yeah, at the end of the day, Konnor Griffin's debuting tomorrow. And it's just an exciting time to be a Pirates fan. Like I said, I can't remember. We've been through some pretty anticipated debuts, right? Like Andrew McCutchen, highly anticipated debut. Garrett Cole, Paul Skeens. But dude, this is just different. It's different because it's the number 1 prospect in baseball. He's
Right.
19 years old. He's all these things like I talked about on the emergency podcast, like first teenage position player since Juan Soto in 2018, youngest player to be on their team this early in the season since Adrian Beltre in 1999. So like it's been a while. This is a pretty this is an unprecedented promotion that we're talking about here. I guess not unprecedented because I just listed a couple of precedents, but it's been a while since we've had a precedent here. And yeah, so if you're a Pirates fan, this is just it's a good time. We deserve this. As fans, we deserve some happiness every now and then. And yeah, enjoy it.
And what are we doing if Major League Baseball ruins that?
We're bringing cones.
Cones.
But also,
Both
like,
new
I want to put
American
this in perspective. Like, you're naming things why it's cool for Pirates fans, right? And this is also why it's cool for Pirates fans. But like, think about this too. It's like when Roman Anthony got the call up, like that was cool. That was it. Like, that was cool. Like, for baseball, I think this is like the most hyped call up since Paul Skeens. Yeah, like this is what's so crazy about this. Like as for baseball fans, the hype was around when's Paul Skeens getting here. You know, for MLB, for all fans across baseball, all eyes were on the Pirates and Paul Skeens. And I don't think there's been as much hype since him, which again is just crazy because that was just 2 years ago. And we're talking about another Pirate, you know, and like this type of hype again is surrounding baseball is excited. I mean, every day you're hearing national talks, reporting, podcasts, whatever source, you know, they're talking about Konnor Griffin and when this is going to happen. So, you know, like Pirate fans get to enjoy that. Pirate fans are part of this on the national stage. The last prospect of Paul Skeens and now Konnor Griffin, and they're both going to be on the same team at the same damn time. Mark Madden.
Yeah, it's been a rough spring for Mark Madden.
Oh well. But for real though, again, like this is just Pirate fans have endured a lot. We can have this fun, like you said. This is something to appreciate. You know what? I don't want to hear anyone say. I mean, we talk about fans fanning, police fanning, all this, and it's like, you know what? Just have a good day today. There's a lot of reasons to have a good day, and this is one of them. And again, all of baseball is looking on Pittsburgh tomorrow, and that is the case because I forget who reports. Nesbitt did, yeah. But it's going to be it's a national game now. Obviously, all the people outside of the Baltimore and Pittsburgh markets are going to be able to watch this on MLB now. Like, it's a big deal.
Yeah, I think JJ Cooper posted or tweeted earlier something like the Pirates are really exciting now, and he's not lying. Like, we're not full of crap here. There's some legitimate excitement here throughout the lineup. There's a lot of storylines to watch. You're right, Denardo. We do deserve this, man. It's been a long life as a Pirates fan.
And again, like I mentioned this on the emergency podcast we had, but you know, nobody should expect Konnor Griffin to come up and be this like MVP caliber player at age 19, 20 years old. Like we shouldn't expect that. But I think we can expect a pretty good Major League Baseball player as a total package here. He's gonna give you really, really good defense. He's gonna give you great base running. He's gonna give you some power. I think the batting average, you know, will probably be a little bit lower than what we think. Like there is swing and miss in his game. Like that is a thing you're gonna get with him. But between the speed, the power, and the glove, like you're gonna be deploying a pretty good shortstop, in my opinion, right off the bat. And compared to what the left side of the infield looked like yesterday, the left side of the infield is going to look a lot better tomorrow, and it's going to be because of him. Fangraphs is projecting again. These are just the Zips projections. In 133 games, 15 home runs, a 256 average, 325 OBP, 397 slugging. So that's a 721 OPS, and 3.4 WAR for Konnor Griffin. That comes out right to around a 101 weighted runs created plus. So like they think of him as an average hitter, but 15 homers, 3.4 WAR. You're not getting that out of your shortstop position right now. That's for sure.
No, you're not.
No.
What I want to actually, I'm still pulling something up here. So Tyler, you want to say something?
No, I was just going to say the cool thing about it is like you mentioned how he's going to improve the defense, improve the base running, and that's a big part of it too. Like it kind of does supplement what the Pirates are building here. He does things that they seem to really want to do. He hits the ball over the wall. There's pop there. He can run the bases like anybody in the big leagues. God, it's going to be great. The lineup just gets some length here. A little bit more length that they didn't have before. It puts guys in better positions. And just based on these 6 games we've seen from the major league team, it doesn't feel, at least at this point, like they have to rely on Konnor Griffin as much as maybe we thought in like December. There's enough pieces here where he doesn't have to be a superhero off the bat.
For sure. I just wanted to add in here. So, like, just going back on the shortstops and the Pirates. Since 2015, the Pirates have had, 2 shortstops. That's happened 3 times. Have a 2 or a higher. It's Oneil Cruz a couple years ago, and it's Kevin Newman twice.
Dang, Jordy never got there.
All right. Captain Chris got back to us. So just to interrupt everybody. Question was, if you had to give a TED Talk with 0 prep, what random topic could you fake your way through? He says that he's been a bartender for 21 years and he dresses like a pirate for 13 years. So he's giving a TED Talk on rum. I'm not talking about Captain Morgan. I'm talking about real rum. I'm talking Navy proof, pot still, column still, cane juice, dunder, all of it. And if I get anything wrong, it won't matter because everyone will be drunk anyway.
I need to show up to this TED Talk.
I don't think I know what 50% of those words were.
Yeah.
That's why you need to be there too.
Apparently.
There you go. Yeah. Be at that TED Talk. Learn about rum.
What if they put Konnor Griffin on the bench tomorrow?
I wanted to just correct myself. So it was 3 times 3 players. It was Jordy, Kevin, and Oneil. They did.
Jordy
have the Pirates ever had a shortstop with 3.4 WAR?
Oneil had 3.6.
Okay.
He played center field half that year.
No, he didn't. That was 2020. His 3.6 WAR year would have been 2023. 2022.
Actually, no, it was 24.
Oh.
Yeah, it was the year he played center. It's just a month, but still.
Yeah, it was a month.
Just saying.
So going back though, yeah, like I mean, he's a big upgrade to the team. And like I said, this team's not bad right now. It's only been 6 games, but we've seen what this offense can do. On paper, it looks legit, and just putting him into this lineup, injecting him into it, it's another spark plug.
And we've solved the leadoff role. We're good. We've been discussing, like, you know, the whole thing about lefty. Like, Jared Trill isn't maybe the answer, but he's the best option right now. Like, you can make. Okay, actually, I don't even say the best option, but you can make sense of why. Well, that's done. I mean, like, are you putting Konnor at leadoff versus lefties?
I'm probably leading off with Konnor against lefties. Yeah.
Okay. So, like, it's not Jared Trill now. It's Konnor Griffin.
Against
This
righties,
lineup
I'm probably putting him 7th or 8th. Yeah.
And that's fair. But so again, like, this lineup looks legit. It looks deep.
Yeah, I don't
deep
know
enough.
I think it's gonna take some time for him to hit leadoff. Like, we're probably looking a month out if he's playing well, because they just don't do that with young guys. They hit them low.
You know what else they don't do with young guys? They don't bring them up on April 2nd, and they don't extend them.
Fair enough. Well, they haven't done the second part yet. Calm down, Buster.
Maybe. Calm down, Buster.
But to your guys' point there, that's the other thing this does to the lineup. We talked a lot about how they struggle against left-handed pitching. Another should be good right-handed bat. Like, puts Triolo in a better spot, puts Nicky G in a better spot. It's just adding more talented baseball players helps everybody.
100%.
Who would have thought?
because like Jared Triolo as your shortstop, I think it wasn't great. It wasn't a great option. Like he can do it technically, but like you prefer that not to be the case. And now it's not the case anymore. Like Jared Triolo is not your shortstop. Nick Gonzalez isn't your shortstop. Like you have a shortstop, and you have a shortstop that you can put in the lineup every single day, no matter who's pitching. Now with third base, you can kind of pick and choose, right? Jared Triolo is obviously the better fielder. If you want to give Nicky G some at bats, you can do that. Like I said, it opens up a lot more options, I think, for this team. I still, with third base, I think the comments section are still calling for like Nicky G, everyday third baseman. I think Jared Triolo is going to get the bulk of the playing time at third base. But Nicky G is going to get, third base time. He's going to get second base time. Nick York can kind of move into that. Like he can play corner outfield. He can play kind of all over the place if you need to now. And he's probably mostly going to play against lefties, even though he's got reverse splits typically for the rest of his career. But like your bench all of a sudden, Nick Gonzalez, Nick York, Jake Mangum, like it's a lot better than it was before too.
For sure. If that's the bench.
And if Triolo's on the bench, it's still better because then now you can bring a Gold Glove utility man off the bench anytime you.
I kind of look at it as like there could be like I do feel Triolo will get the bulk. I mean, I don't think you go into the season the way they did if you're not playing. Like you don't have the mindset of Triolo being your third baseman. So I don't think they're like giving up on him after 6 games is what I'm alluding to. But like, I mean, there's a real platoon possibility like with at third base of some sort. But again, like it gives you options. But like shortstop is solved. That's it. You're not worrying about shortstop and third like we have been. It's done. So now just worry about third base, which is kind of what we knew we were getting into the season. But a lot of other positions have been solved to some level. So it's like if it's really just third base, that's your biggest question. I know catcher still is. I get it. That was always going to be the case. But like if third base is really the only other one, this pitching that they should have and the way the bats are performing to some degree and stuff, like again, this team looks good enough. Are they playoff bound? Are they World Series bound and all that? That's a whole nother question, whole nother debate. But I do think this team is certainly interesting and it's going to be good enough. Like this team will be a team that you're looking to watch in June, in July, in August, hopefully still by September, in that sense. Like this isn't a team that like, okay, I mean, guys, last year, just literally a year ago on April 14th, we were talking like it's done. Like there's so much of a hole. They cannot come back from this. That's how bad it is. Season was over mid-April. I don't think that's going to be the case at all. I think that the trade deadline through August, like this team has enough to at least be in the hunt, at least be interesting. And Konnor's going to be a big part of that.
So where do you guys lean on where they're going to go with third base? Jim, did you? I kind of missed what you said there.
I think Triolo is going to get the bulk of the playing time at third.
And I think Denardo, you said the same thing.
I do. I agree.
I think I agree with you.
Fans are going to be upset at that.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to be the case.
I think that is the way it shakes out throughout the year. But I will say, just for right now at least, I'm letting Nicky G ride at third base. He's swinging a good enough bat. Like we have multiple 2-hit games so far. He hasn't done poorly over there, I don't think. I think I'm right. And just as of right now, and let's see how it plays out. But I think right now I'm riding with Nicky G at third, letting Triolo do that utility role. And then we'll go from there. I mean, it's a fluid situation, but now they have options.
They do.
Like, that's a good point, though. I've always felt Triolo, like having him as the utility guy just makes a whole lot of sense because he plays good defense everywhere. Like Jim said, like having him as the starting shortstop, that's not what you want. But like having a guy like Triolo who can play shortstop, if Triolo has to play shortstop to give Konnor Griffin a day off, like to me, that's fine. And then he goes to third base one day and second. The fact that he can play all around, like I thought he was best suited for utility. It's just like, but not at the expense of making Nick Gonzalez the starter, if that makes sense, especially at third base. So that's where it's like, to me, it's a toss up. I just feel like they're going into the season. They probably went into the season thinking Triolo's the guy. I don't think at this point in time that mind has changed. So I think at this point, they're still going to give Triolo the bulk of the playing time, but like that can change. I mean, if it's the end of April and Triolo's still hitting poorly or whatever, Nick Gonzalez is hitting fairly well, like maybe you make that call. I think also that goes to the fact that, I mean, it's just a week. We saw the offense. Again, I want to word it this way. Like, even though they weren't scoring runs, the offense was kind of showing up the first 2 games. Like, they were getting hits. Like, the offense has not been abysmal by any means. So if you have this like elite defense on the left side of the infield, like that could be a case also. Like, hey, you know what? I know Triolo's not the bat that you really want to see. And I know catchers doesn't really have too many of those options, but it's like, if you have 7 very adequate guys that are all very poor defensively, maybe it kind of makes sense to just have this really, really good left side of the infield. And that's where Triolo has that saving grace to get him in the lineup. So either way, though, again, like we're kind of splitting hairs here. I think we all feel like this does give them options. That's a good thing.
I do think the one like cool thing about this, and someone mentioned it earlier about Konnor Griffin and Oneil Cruz fighting over the stolen base lead. Love that. It creates competition and not artificial competition, because there's always going to be guys pushing the other guys, but they're not. Like Billy Cook's not pushing anybody in that outfield. There's legitimate competition around the field to a point where even the outfielders, when they have a day off and other guys get an opportunity like a Jake Mangum, they get to take advantage of that. And then when Oneil Cruz comes back in, you know what, buddy? You just missed 2 fly balls in center field. You better figure it out. And he hits 3 home runs. There's legitimate competition in this lineup right now.
Yeah. And like,
I'm being way too positive. I hate this.
This actually sounds dumb. I'm just going to say it anyways. But like, Konnor knows how to play short or center field. There's also options if something happens. Jared Triolo can slide in a shortstop one day and someone gets pulled and Konnor goes in the center. It's not going to happen. That's why I said it's a dumb
can
comment.
play center as well.
I know he can't.
So,
but
I don't
there's
think we're gonna
others
see
on
Konnor
here.
in center
So
anytime
like you
soon.
talk about competition, there's also like a, hey, you know what? You better start playing good defense.
But like you get a day down, the other guy's stepping up too.
Mm-hmm.
It elevates people, even as professional athletes. It elevates you. Like that's why good teams are good teams, and that's why their bench is good, because what is it, like the rising tides? What something ships? I don't know.
All tides rise ships.
Something. Nailed it.
That's the saying.
It's not even close, but nailed it.
No, that's what it is.
No,
All tides rise ships.
because sometimes there's low tide, guys. High tide raises all ships.
They raise them in low tide though as well. You just don't see it. You're upside down.
Rising tides lift all ships. How about that? Anyways, the contract. Do we want to talk about the contract a little bit? Again, Buster Only is the one reporting it. 9 years, $140 million. I've been pretty confident that like something's going to get ironed out here, but it's still kind of surreal that they're doing this. Like the Pirates have never given this much money to anyone, and here we are talking about them doing it to a 19-year-old kid who's never played a game of Major League Baseball.
To be fair, they haven't had a 19-year-old kid who was the number 1 prospect across baseball. Thank you, Justin Horwitz.
R.I.P. Justin Horwitz.
R.I.P.
Yeah, I want to say just like a few things on that, right? Because I know there's a lot of people, and like I understand it. I understand it. This kid has never even played Major League Baseball, and there's 140 million. The Pirates have never come close to that type of contract for anybody. How can you just like guarantee someone who's never played? We've seen prospects come up and flame out, and everyone wants to go back in the day. Chad Hermanson, it seems like Chad Hermanson. Like, there you go, there's one. But like, I want people to understand and put things in perspective, right? There's a difference between being a top prospect. Hey, this guy's like the number 30 prospect in baseball. Prospects do bust. They certainly do. And you go down the numbers, prospects through 1 through 10, that percentage, 11 through 20, that percentage. Like they get worse and worse typically. There's a big difference between 10 and 30. I should say there's not a huge difference between 10 and 30. But there's usually a huge difference between 1 and 10. Like that's what we're talking about. Sure, prospects do bust. But like Tyler's point, the Pirates have never had a prospect like this since Paul Skeens. And before Paul Skeens, like they've never had a prospect like this. Like this is the thing we're talking about. This dude, like number one prospects typically don't miss. And with the way everyone's viewing Konnor, he's kind of like the oddball of number one prospects, where he's better than a lot of number one prospects are. That's why I go back to like the Roman Anthony. Roman Anthony was a really good prospect. And I'm not trying to say Connor's going to be better or whatever, but like Roman Anthony wasn't viewed the way Connor's kind of being viewed. That's why I say when Roman Anthony came up, I was like, okay, cool. Like people were, that's nice. I want to see this, but there wasn't the same hype as Konnor Griffin. Those tend to just not miss. Like Paul Skeens just wasn't going to miss. Like you just deeply felt like he's not going to miss. So the time to extend them is now, because if you don't, well, fellas, do you think the Pirates can extend Paul Skeens right now?
It's going to be hard.
You didn't answer the question. Do you think they will?
My answer is no. My answer is, well, can they? Yeah, but will they? No.
So with great risks comes great reward. And now that is a real saying.
You actually, I say that's actually a real saying.
It is.
Nailed it.
No, I thought you were going to go Spider-Man there.
You want me to go upside down?
No, I thought you were going to do your great power.
I can see the low tides correctly. But yeah, I mean, like it is a risk, but I feel like it's a safe risk, and that can come with a great reward, and that's having Konnor Griffin here for 9 years, or at least.
So I want to fast forward. Actually, I guess rewind back to when that Fangraphs top 100 prospect list dropped, and I've got it pulled up here, and I just want to read this again. Like this is the kind of prospect write-ups that you don't see very often. And it says Konnor Griffin is a...
Before you start though, Jim, legally I have to give a disclaimer on this for hopium. If you have too much hopium, you can't listen to this right now because this could cause an aneurysm. Go ahead, Jim. Continue.
You know what? I'm going to read it right after we listen to Cody.
This episode is brought to you by IQ Bar, our exclusive snack hydration sponsor. IQ Bar protein bars, IQ Mix hydration mixes, and IQ Joe mushroom coffees are the delicious, low-sugar, brain and body fuel you need to win your day. The Ultimate Sampler Pack is a great way for you to try all IQ Bar products and flavors. You get 9 IQ bars, 8 IQ Mix sticks, and 4 IQ Joe sticks. All IQ Bar products are clean label certified and entirely free from gluten, dairy, soy, GMOs, and artificial ingredients. With over 20,000 5-star reviews and counting, more people than ever are fueling their lifestyles with IQ Bar's brain and body boosting bars, hydration mixes, and mushroom coffees. The Ultimate Sampler Pack includes all 3. My personal favorites so far have been the almond butter chip and the iced tea lemonade hydration mix. It's just really full of flavor. I love starting my day with it, and I couldn't imagine starting my day with anything else other than IQ Bar products. Right now, IQ Bar is offering our podcast listeners 20% off all IQ Bar products, including the Ultimate Sampler Pack, plus free shipping. To get your 20% off, text MLB to 64,000. That's MLB 64000. Message and data rates may apply. See terms for details.
All right. Fangraphs. Konnor Griffin is a freaky 5-tool superstar with big power and enough contact ability to weaponize it. He's also incredibly fast and has quickly developed into a plus shortstop. He's about to be one of the best young players in the game. Then it goes on to say that Griffin is not only clearly the best prospect in baseball, but one of the top handful of prospects ever evaluated during the current era of Fangraphs scouting, which goes back a little over 10 years. He's a franchise-altering entity whose talent rivals that of Bobby Witt Jr., a young, level-headed Hanley Ramirez, or a faster Carlos Correa. He then goes on to say that he's a complete player, an absolute monster, who might make Paul Skeens the second best guy on his team in short order, and might one day be mentioned in Pittsburgh in the same breath as Mean Joe Green, if they can find a way to get an extension done, and whose daily impact can help return the Pirates to long-awaited glory. So, if the extension gets done, we're talking about modern day baseball Mean Joe Green here, is what Fangraphs is saying.
My biggest takeaway is I blame Fangraphs for Paul Skeens' ERA. They called him being the second. They called it. This is their fault. Man, for real though, like that's the point. Still, I understand nothing's guaranteed. But like this is the level of prospect we are discussing, not Chad Hermanson. And yet Chad Hermanson was hyped up for like this crop of prospects Pirates had here. It's not like this.
I just went back to our draft show from when Konnor Griffin was drafted, and we were talking about Bryce Rayner or Konnor Griffin. I don't really want to know what our opinions were of it.
I know what mine was. I was heavy Konnor at the start of the show.
I honestly couldn't tell you what mine was. Regardless,
I just remember saying, yeah, Connor's cool. I don't trust this organization to develop him. And
I remember, that was your take. That was your take.
Yeah.
And what was mine, Jim?
I don't remember yours. I just remember I was all Konnor from the start of that show. So yeah, I know ball apparently.
But I mean, you mentioned all the prospects, but it's not. They have not had one like this. Like even Paul Skeens was not like this. Paul Skeens was cool. A lot of people loved him, and there was a lot of hype. But like, this is just across the board consensus. One franchise changing player. Like Paul Skeens had some worries that were stupid worries. Now looking back, but
bad fastball shape. Yeah.
Yeah. Now there's like at this point, I don't really know if we've heard too many crazy worries about Konnor Griffin. It's mainly been just like hitting a fastball. And even then it's like everyone thinks he can do it. It's just they wanted to see a little more.
Yep. Cody brings up a good point. Like there was more doubt with Skeens than Konnor, I think.
But was that more like at the draft or like heading into 2024?
I don't know. I would say like even when Skeens debuted, there were a lot of people who were like, this is clearly the best pitching prospect we've seen in quite some time.
Right.
So yeah, I don't think there was a whole lot of doubt. I think people like if they were trying to nitpick something and they picked on the fastball a little bit, but I think overall,
it's the same.
Yeah, I don't want to say like these are two can't miss prospects, but it's about as close as you can get.
They're in a pretty similar tier, yeah.
I agree. I felt like at the draft, it was like Apollo Dylan Cruz, you can go kind of either way. Of course, you had preference and this and that, but like even in the draft, he was touted a lot more than Konnor was. But regardless, like by the time he got drafted, came through heading into 2024, it was like okay. Yeah, we see what we're dealing with here. And of course, also that's when he added the Splinker, and the Splinker was all the talk. And it's like, okay, he's the best thing ever. And he proved it. And like that's how I just feel Connor's at right now. The only like naysayers is like back then too. It was like right now with Kevin McGonigal. It was like, oh, the fans that want to trash, because Kevin McGonigal's better. This kid can't make opening day roster. He sucks. Konnor Griffin's overrated. Like, I think it's more like fans that you're seeing like in that talk, like how I think it was more truly fans talking about the fastball shape. I don't think major accounts were truly talking about it in a way of like Paul Skeens is not going to be good. It was like, yeah, maybe it's a concern, but he's so good that he can overcome it. That's how I feel like this is. I think it's more fans that are coming out saying anything about Konnor and that they were with Paul than it was actual real people.
Yeah, probably. Also, just a cool thing that we haven't experienced in a very long time, probably since Gregory Polanco, is having a prospect come up during a time frame where we should be hoping for competitive baseball and should be in the midst of competitive baseball. Like when Paul Skeens came up, they were still building. Like right now, they should be here. From what we see with the roster, they should be competing for playoff spot. He's here to help right now, not just build.
Yeah, I mean
That's a really good point.
They really haven't had a team that you're injecting a prospect into to like boost them towards a playoff run. We haven't really seen that in a while.
No. The only difference is like Polanco happened later. So, like there was like the success, there was the hype, and then after it was like, oh, and now we're adding Polanco, which added more to it. This is kind of early, so all the hype is still here, and such. But yeah, that's a really good point. Like, because I remember Polanco. I literally remember the day. That's like one of those things. Like, do you remember what you're doing? Like, I remember the day Polanco, made his debut and stuff, and I made coffee to watch the game to celebrate my El Cafe, right? And yeah, that was a big moment, like you said, because the Pirates are good. It's like, oh, and also we're adding. I know it didn't work out, but we're adding this really talented player. And again,
we have to go with 3 months of whining about Super 2.
Right. But also again, like Connor's not a Polanco, like as highly touted and rated Polanco was. Like this is nowhere near that.
Yeah, for sure. It's exciting.
Yeah, I want to say when Polanco was promoted, he was like right around the 10th prospect in baseball. Which again,
I agree, it was somewhere around there.
It's very highly touted, but those guys do bust. but yeah, you don't really see. As I said, we haven't seen a prospect of Konnor Griffin status bust in a really, really long time. Yeah, Baseball America, number 10 prospect in 2014, Gregory Polanco.
And that's the last time I can remember a prospect that was expected to help right away. Or at least join what should be competitive team.
Right.
Yeah, I guess you could maybe throw Austin Meadows in that boat in 2018.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, I mean, it's been a while.
Yeah, that's true.
I forget about that.
Short-lived. I know.
We don't need to do that. This is a good day.
Yeah. But no, awesome. I mean, it's just really incredible that like all this has happened so quickly. I mean, I think it was Noah's tweet earlier today where he mentioned, on April 3rd, 2 years ago, Konnor Griffin was getting ready for prom. 2 years ago on this date, and now here we are. He's about to make his major league debut. It's kind of surreal.
Have you ever been more jealous of a 19-year-old? Damn you, Konnor.
Well, he's about to get $140 million. So that's
real.
Sick. Also, shout out Jack Jetta. Also, just a quick shout out to some people signed up for memberships. Mitch, Roller, appreciate you guys. The memberships are fun. Gives you access to the emojis, and we did just add the cone emoji today. So yeah, play around with those.
Yeah,
for sure.
You guys can be jealous of Konnor Griffin's $140 million that he could potentially get. However, now you got great odds through FanDuel to grab him at Rookie of the Year at plus 350. He was down to plus 200. You can now grab him with better odds. Be the next Konnor Griffin.
Better odds. He's also plus 800 to homer tomorrow in his debut.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And just going back about, why to be excited as a Pirates fan, like he's top 2 Rookie of the Year. Paul Skeens is top 2 Cy Young. Like again, I just go back. There's MVP's gonna be tough, but there's real possibility if those two do their job. If Paul Skeens goes out there and wins Cy Young, and Konnor Griffin wins Rookie of the Year, there's a good chance that just follows along the Don Kelly winning Manager of the Year. Like if this team goes into the playoffs, there's a real chance Don Kelly could become Manager of the Year. I mean, he took a 71 team and goes into playoffs. So like, again, like we're talking about, like this team is really interesting. It is exciting. They might not be, you're not looking at them as like, hey, this is a playoff, or I'm sorry, a World Series type team, but like this is definitely an interesting team. It's going to be a team that's talked about in baseball almost on a nightly basis. You know, like nationally, this team is being looked at right now, probably for the full year. When's that happen? 13, 14, 15. Like that's it. And after that, it's just been because first baseman run guys back home. This is different now.
Yeah, I mean, you got Paul Skeens starting every 5th day. You're gonna have Konnor Griffin starting every day, and I think that's what's cool about like the position player aspect is he's an everyday player, right? And you know, you saw what Bubba did his first time out. That's going to get plenty of attention, maybe good and bad. There's already been some fun articles written about Bubba Chandler's outing and what it means for his future. But yeah, man, it's exciting. It's exciting. The Pirates are, I think the word you can at least use right now is they are very relevant across the league. Like they are giving people reasons to take them seriously.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're a member of Foul Territory, the Pirates are building the Yankees farm system.
Yeah,
and you get to see them. Idiots.
Yeah, Foul Territory. Probably tomorrow they'll be like, the Pirates need to capitalize on trading Konnor Griffin for. Just think of the prospects you can get for the number one prospect in baseball, you guys.
That's what we didn't talk about tonight that we missed out on, though. Like this 140 is cool, but what could they get for Paul Skeens and Konnor Griffin right now? That's the real thing we need to be thinking about.
Package them together.
Could you imagine if they package them together? You might
definitely get Spencer Jones with that.
Yeah, you could get Spencer Jones.
Man, the top 8 Yankees prospects probably. Maybe we'll throw in a 9th. How lucky for Pirates fans. Blessed. Hashtag blessed. All 9 of those prospects going to rise all of our tides.
Oh, well, Konnor Griffin will make his debut tomorrow against the Orioles and Kyle Bradish. The Orioles are 3-3, same record as the Buccos. Bradish, Shane Baz, and Chris Bassett are in line to face Mitch Keller, Carmen Mlodzinski, and Braxton Ashcraft. Man, I don't know, but like this rotation's just fun too. Like, I want to see all those guys. I want to see everybody on this team for the most part. This is a fun team. You know what? It was a good off season. This is a fun team to watch.
Also, add on, is it also? You said this in the group chat, I believe. I was kind of MIA that time. But to expand upon, also, like, is this a fun team? Has this become a fun team? Another thing we talk about, like the years past, this is such a boring team.
No personalities like ever on these previous teams. You had Austin Hedges getting mad at fans because they said, saying that you don't appreciate what goes into being a catcher.
What a dork.
Rowdy Tellez saying, we don't do that here. It's like, Rowdy, you've been here a week. Yeah, we do. This is what we do. But yeah, like they're having fun. The cone thing, like we talked about the cone on the post game shows, but like fans had fun with it at first, and then the team got wind of it. Next thing you know, there's a cone in the dugout. Billy Cook's running around the dugout with a traffic cone, and
it's so stupid.
It's
great.
It's so stupid. It's so fun. Like Paul Skeens is actually like making jokes in post-game interviews now. Like the guy who was like, this guy's boring, just like everyone else on this team. He now all of a sudden it seems to be having fun. The team is having fun, and I'm here for it.
I kind of need Billy Cook to just hang around and be a mascot.
Yeah, Billy Cook going down. We're gonna need a new hoister of the cone. Somebody's gonna have to take up that role. I feel like Nick York is going to have to be maybe the new hoister.
And if it can
But
be,
I
he's going to
think
have to go to the
wrong.
minors.
He needs to work on his hoisting.
Yeah, he's going to have to go down.
They sent him down to capitalize and work on his hoisting.
Yeah, I'm going to nominate Nick York as the new main hoister.
So we're just picking a 26 man.
Yeah, but we saw Mitch Keller hoisting the
True.
cone. We've got people wearing. Oneil Cruz was wearing the cone like a hat.
I mean,
Well, it's funny when the whole welder mask came in, and that's interesting. I get it. It was kind of interesting. The welder's like, I'm not in love with the welder's mask. I guess I'll put it that way. Like, I'm not in love with it. I get it. It's kind of cool, but I don't.
It's pretty cool.
I don't love it. But now that they added the cone, like the cone now is like the welder's mask is like, listen, we're deep rooted in Pittsburgh. That's why I do like it. It represents a lot. It's more representation than I think it's fun. Now they added the cone to it, and like now the celebrations, it has everything. It's just perfect.
how many cones are going to be stolen at our tailgate?
That's the thing.
So many.
Like PennDOT has to be just. I wonder if PennDOT had a meeting today where they were like, guys, like we're about to be missing some freaking cones all across Western PA. Like we're gonna have to order more cones because people are just gonna see a cone and just snag it. I'm not condoning the action.
I am.
We don't condone theft here.
I do.
But like this is gonna be a multi-million-dollar thing that PennDOT has to deal with the stealing of the cones.
Yep.
So you know how the Braves, when a player signs, they're forced, it's obligated. This part of your contract goes back to our foundation. PennDOT's going to sue the Pirates, and every contract they sign, like 1% of their contract has to go to PennDOT because of what the Pirates have done.
Don't care.
But you are right, man. It's the aftermath. I mean, it just is what it is. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, it's become a thing, and unfortunately, PennDOT's going to probably take a lot of L's.
Yeah. I mean,
2 days ago,
Carl was going to throw one in the river.
Yes.
That's true. Yeah.
That's right.
That's
Carl's
true.
doing a
That's
cone
from
in the
the
river.
point. So 2 days ago, Talkin' Baseball tweeted, Ryan O'Hearn remains on fire to begin his Pirates career, and he's greeted in the dugout by the welder's mask and a celebratory traffic cone. Like, that was a real tweet that was put out there by a national baseball account. Like they said, this team is fun. They are fun. I haven't seen, we haven't had this fun of a team since the Zoltan. That was the last one. We haven't had this much fun since then.
There were moments they tried to bring the Zoltan back. I felt like for a couple days.
I was like,
they had the necklaces last year. Like it was like a thing. Like it just went away. And I just say this because also, I mean, the teams are better. Please make sure the cone stays. Like, don't let this be we need to get out of a slump. Here's a 1 or 2 day thing. Like, please, the cone has to be a thing. This is the year of the cone. Hoist the cone.
Yeah, hoist it.
You have to.
I took a picture. Like I'm walking out of Great American Ballpark on when was that? Tuesday night. And I'm just heading back to the parking garage, and I see this cone. It was covering up. There was like loose wires just like sticking out of the ground. And I'm like, that's a good place to put a cone, I guess. But I was like, you know what? I am hoisting this cone. I take a picture of myself, and some guy's like walking behind me, and he had to be the most confused person. I was taking a selfie with the cone in my hand, like smiling. But yeah, like it's so dumb. It's so stupid, and I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, I didn't get it for a while, but now I just love it. Like, that's half the battle with baseball. Finding something really stupid that you can all bond over, and it sure as hell helps when you win. There it is.
There we go. See, like that guy in the background?
Right here?
He was staring at me like, what in the hell's going on with this guy?
That is funny.
Yeah, that guy was the only one.
Yeah. Only person.
But also like thinking about this, I mean, the whole fact that this all started because Fanatics put out a misprint, more or less. It said "Hoist the Cone." Cody had the short. Pittsburgh Clothing Company tweeted out like, "What the hell does hoist the cone even mean?" And it's hilarious now that due to a misprint, we're talking about the aftermath, how PennDOT's going to take a lot of L's, but it's like due to the misprint of Fanatics, how many third-party t-shirt companies right now are profiting off this because it now became a thing, and Fanatics isn't getting the profits now because they X the shirt, and all these other companies are because it's become a thing and now they're capitalizing on it. It's just funny. Fanatics caused it, and they don't get to make any money off of it now because they rightfully got rid of the shirt because it didn't make any sense, and now it's become ironically a thing.
I don't know if Pittsburgh Clothing Company has posted it, but I know for a fact that a member of the Pittsburgh Pirates has placed a rather large Hoist the Cone t-shirt order with Pittsburgh Clothing Company. So
if you want to be part,
I think it's here to stay.
Over under 2.5 cones stolen not stolen, I'm sorry. Maybe just grabbed or misplaced by the NS9 crew on April 18th.
Oh, I'm
Just
not
grabbed?
condoning it, but there will be way
Just
more than
misplaced,
2.5
dude.
cones taken on April 18th. I can tell you that.
like they don't have to be stolen. Like they're not going in my arms under my shirt.
I would not admit to
Borrowed.
any
You can
crimes.
borrow. You can borrow the cone.
I could borrow it forever.
They're gonna have
NA.
like cops. They're gonna have like security guards. PennDOT's gonna hire
Right.
security
I'm just putting
guards.
a target on my back here.
Seriously.
Well, I'll take all the eyeballs will be on me. You guys do the work.
Here's what I want to
Yeah,
see tomorrow.
They won't
I
be
wanna
able to
see
find
Konnor-
you.
I want to see Konnor Griffin hit a homer in his major league debut, and I need somebody to put the cone on Konnor Griffin's head. He'd be Konnor Griffin.
All right.
I saw that in the
Got
chat
rid of the
like 5
problem.
times. I thought it was funny when everybody else said it, not Jim.
Is that the end of our show, Tyler?
Yeah, probably.
Well, we'll be back tomorrow because there is a game at 4:12. A lot of stuff happening tomorrow. I can't wait. I guess I'll tease this because also I don't think people know what we're even doing with it. And because I don't think we decided if we are tomorrow. Sicko sound off?
Yeah, I'm not available.
I could maybe be. I'll say this. There might be a Sicko sound off tomorrow. And the reason I say this is Sicko sound off will continue during the season. We're going to use it a little different way this year. I think we talked about this once way back.
Yeah.
We're going to use it a little different. It's going to be sporadic. And in a game where it's like, you know what? Fans need to vent. Fans need to discuss something. Immediately after our post-game show, we're going to go ahead and bring Sicko sound off on. So the second the post-game show comes on and then goes away, Sicko sound off will go on and we'll be live. That way you can hear the fans' perspective on things. So post-game show on, post-game show ends, Sicko sound off will be on and live.
For those listening, Bernardo just keeps kicking Jim off the show.
So yeah, that's the idea of Sicko sound off this year. Could be a bad loss, could be a good loss. Whenever we feel like you guys who need to vent, need to talk, we'll go live immediately after the post-game show and hear from you. So I think maybe we'll see. We'll of course warn everyone before the game, or I should say before the post-game show. But tomorrow, I feel like could be a good day to have our very first in-season Sicko sound off. Hopefully, it's not for bad things, but like I think people want to talk about Konnor Griffin.
I think everybody does.
So like, let's give them an opportunity. Day one,
Yeah.
Konnor Griffin, talk to us.
Yep. We're full steam ahead, baby.
I'm excited. You excited, Jim?
Oh yeah.
Everyone, we love you all. Let's have a good tomorrow. Let's have a good home opener. Konnor Griffin's here.
Yeah, let's have a good
Vibes
tomorrow.
are high. Who's on the post game? Oh yeah, well Jim will be on the post game live at PNC Park.
Yeah, I made the decision. I'm gonna leave here at like 3 a.m. tomorrow, and I will be at the game tomorrow.
Who's with you?
Neil. Me and
There
Neil
it is.
tomorrow.
Jim and Neil then. Oh, I'm jealous now. I'm so pissed. I said Friday was a day I could do it too. Damn it. Jim knew. All right. Yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Like, subscribe. If you're a member, enjoy the cones. If you're not, 99 cents. You can enjoy the cones all year long, hopefully. And I think that's it. We out.
Peace out, our scouts.
We're out. Let's go Bucks.
Bye-bye.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube, if you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.